All right, everyone, it is now confirmed Mike Garcia did flip CA25. Of course, that special election for House of Representatives seat, which means the Democrats are one seat short in the House of what they had a week ago, which is great. This was the seat that was vacated in the wake of, was it Katie Hill's scandal there, which, come on, I mean, nobody really was disgusted by it, but when you're fucking a staffer, the female congresswoman fucking a female staffer too, I'm sure the religious constituents had more of a problem with that than anyone else, and smoking a fairly large bong on taxpayer time, that's a no-go zone. It made sense for her to resign, by the way. I mean, just for that purpose. I don't really care what she gets up to in the privacy of her own home, but she's taxpayer funded. It's about time we hold politicians to a higher standard than we hold other people. Like right now we do the reverse. We expect politicians to be dirty all the time, and then we ramble about other people like private citizens when they do something wrong. It's like, this is lopsided. I would think that the one that you're involuntarily funding, even if you didn't vote for them, should be held to account more. That's just my opinion, though. What the fuck do I know? Elected officials, they should just be able to shoot each other on the streets or something. Anyway, here's what this really means. First and foremost, you need to understand, to the Republicans getting a big dick about this, this was a Republican-held seat prior to Katie Hill. This was part of the blue wave, which literally only happened in California. You remember how it was going to be a blue wave, the Republicans are going to get wiped out, and then we're going to take care of that damn dirty Trump. During the last midterms, the Democrats lost a couple seats in the Senate. There's no blue wave there. Trump's fine. He skated through impeachment with flying colors. No blue wave there. And in the House, they came in, 6 or 7 short of the expected increase in seats. And so they take a House majority, but they don't get nearly as many seats as they figured. And a lot of them were, again, clustered in blue states. Just the result of hyper-partisan national level politics trickling down to areas that had been arguably less biased. What this shows is a regression back to the long-term trend of voting within this region. That means that Democratic turnout is not going to approach the 2018 level even in blue areas. This shows low enthusiasm for Democrats and at least somewhat energetic enthusiasm for Republicans. Garcia did win it by, I believe, considerably more than it had been held before. So there is momentum and movement in the Republicans' direction. If this can happen in California, even in a seat that's more in a swing area on the edge of Los Angeles, with no incumbent Democrat facing off in an area where the Democrat had to resign due to scandal, even if you factor all these things in, turnout for Republicans, I think, if you base it on the results here and extrapolate that, and you can only do that to a very limited degree, Republicans are going to wipe the Democrats out in the 2020 election. I think you could see the GOP gain more power in the Senate potentially, although I wouldn't necessarily bet on it at the moment because of the electoral map. I think they'll definitely take more House seats back. I don't think the Democrats will extend their reach in the House. I think that's almost impossible. And I expect Trump to win by a margin similar to the last election, possibly a bit more. So yeah, you're going to see arguably a red wave election actually, where the Republicans sort of win all. And I think another thing is that voters are going to punish the Democrats. If there's no major second wave of coronavirus right now, the Democrats are going to look so optically terrible that they're in the state houses, they're going to get wiped out there too. You could see a situation where enough states are held with enough control that you could finally, by the way, if the Republicans have the balls to do it, and I strongly encourage them to do so, pass some constitutional amendments. Expand the Second Amendment. Do something positive. Use your newfound power for good. Of course, asking the Republican Party to do that is probably a long shot. I may trust Trump and Rand Paul and a few others to an extent, but by and large, it's still the party of Mitch McConnell. a lot of procedural bullshit, slowing things down, fake decorum. Basically, you're too afraid to do big things, so you just hide behind decorum. Oh, we can't do that because there's no precedent. Fuck precedent, dude. We hear this all the time. It's like this is still the party of John Boehner at times. Anyway, what this means, this doesn't mean necessarily a wipeout election. It's just, if you got that much momentum in the Republicans' favor, to more than negate the 2018 surge of Democratic voters, which did give them the House, if that has reversed, you would see a regression of many of those seats. But keep in mind, incumbent advantage does play a role as well. That weakens the Republicans in those seats. Republicans, though, have a damn good shot of taking back the House, or at the very least, limiting the Democrats' to a very small majority, something where, you know, you have 2 or 3 people, you wine and dine them enough, you can get your way even if you're in the minority in that case. That can happen. We've seen it happen even recently. That would be, I think, good. I think that it would be wonderful to eliminate some of the obstruction of our government at the moment so we can get more accomplished. Trump has managed to use his initial force to get a lot of what he wanted accomplished, but I do want tax cuts round 2. Absolutely. I think it'd be good for the economy. Yeah, I want him to be able to expedite the construction of his border wall. Again, not a perfect solution. No, it's definitely a little bit behind schedule, but it's possible to do. And it's important, if only for symbolic reasons, to let people know we maintain a nation of laws. Yeah, I think that this is it's better than the alternative. Can you imagine if the Democrats had managed to hold it? What that would say, and it'd be big news, by the way, if that had happened. What that would say is that the enthusiasm gap that's been measured in polling, which has Trump way ahead of Biden and the Republicans up generally, at least in terms of likely turnout, that would be an illusion, and then that the support doesn't actually exist. The fact is that this corroborates what we think, and actually I think goes a little bit past it. I think Garcia won by a larger than expected margin, if I remember. Now, of course, some of the late ballots will come in from mail-in votes. Now we have to wait and see if that gap narrows and by what margin it does. He's got an insurmountable lead, which is why he declared himself the victor. His opponent conceded, so he is the one who got elected. But we have to see if the gap might grow. It'd be really funny if the gap between them grows by a half a point due to mail-in ballots or something, and the Republicans breathe a sigh of relief and say, oh, we got this. Don't worry about it. I suspect that won't be the case, but now at least we've got one data point, and that's better than none. That's about all. Peace out.